We've been working on improper fractions and mixed numbers. And we know that if you have the improper fraction 5 halves, it would look like this. We divide these into twos because this number right here tells us that we're talking in halves. And if we shaded in 5 halves, it would look like this. Five halves is equivalent to one whole, one more whole, and one half. Or 2 and one half. But you already know that, right? I'm going to show you another way to get to the answer because sometimes we don't have time to draw and it's much faster to use division. We know that fractions are parts of numbers, and when there's a bigger number on top, it's an improper fraction, and that means it's greater than 1. We also know that this fraction bar is also a division symbol. So what this really means is 5 divided by 2. And so we can write it out this way. 5 divided by 2. I always think of this number right here kind of just falling over and going inside of the box. See how that 5 was up here and it kind of just fell over and went inside the box? That way you'll know to write it the right way. Okay, now let's work on dividing. So, when we divide, I like to think of this lovely little phrase. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? It stands for divide, multiply, subtract, check, and bring down. And when we're dividing here, the first step is to divide 5 by 2. We know that it goes 2 times. We divided. The next step is to multiply. We multiply 2 times 2, and that's 4. The next step is to subtract. 5 minus 4 is equal to 1. And then we check to make sure that that 1 is less than 2. After that, we bring down any other numbers that are here. But we don't have any other numbers, so we don't have to bring anything down. We're going to just bring this up. And we can write it as a remainder because there is 1 left. Or we can write it as a fraction. And it would be, as a fraction, it would look like this. It would be 1 over 2. Because there are 2 parts here. So the answer is 2 and 1 half. And it matches the answer right here. 2 and 1 half. Pretty cool, huh? All right, let's try one more. Let's change our background because I kind of like that bright green color. It reminds me of the chalkboards that I used to have in school. Okay, so if we had the fraction, let's say 7/3, and we didn't want to draw all those pictures, we could divide. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? Is our phrase that we're going to use to help us out. Now remember, this fraction is so heavy that it just topples right over and the 7 goes inside of the box. So now our new fraction, set up as a division problem, looks like this. 3 on the outside, 7 on the inside. 7 divided by 3. Our first step is to divide. 7 divided by 3 is 2. Our next step is to multiply. 3 times 2 is equal to 6. After that, we subtract. 7 minus 6 is 1. Then we check. we have to make sure that 1 is less than 3. If it's not less than 3, then that means that you didn't divide correctly. So you have to go back and check your work. Then we know there's nothing left to bring down, so we're going to bring up our answer. And since we're talking about changing an improper fraction into a mixed number, let's just go ahead and write it as a fraction. 1/3. 2 and 1/3 is the mixed number for the improper fraction 7/3. I know it looks complicated, but I also know you're smart enough to do it. Let's see if you can do this one on your own. Get a sheet of scratch paper and see if you can figure out what 9/4 would be. Remember to set it up the right way. This number here falls over because it's so heavy. It's going to just fall right over inside of the fraction. And it's going to go right in that division box so that your division problem looks like this. Now set up your Does McDonald's Sell Cheeseburgers and you can get started. I bet you can do this problem all by yourself. I can't wait to see what answer you come up with. I'm sure it's the right one.